No matter how hard I try to describe an incident that happened to me about 2 years ago, you won't believe me, and I myself would laugh at a person who tells such a thing. Before the wedding, I often had the opportunity to stay with the parents of the current wife, with whom she lived at that time. They are very good people, but still I did not like to stay, for one simple reason: I am afraid of the dark. At home, I constantly sleep with the lights on, well, or the computer. The main thing is not to be alone with the darkness. The current wife even then tried to prove to me that there is nothing scary in the dark, but, alas, nothing came of it. At first, falling asleep in the same bed with her, it seemed to me that fear receded. It seems that I'm not alone, why be afraid? But then one day he returned and still sits like a sediment inside me. An ordinary day of an ordinary, I don't remember what month. I came to visit my future wife. I wanted to take her home, but it so happened that I stayed with her. After wishing good night to my parents, I went with Adele to her bedroom to rest. Surprisingly, I fell asleep pretty quickly, but for some reason, still cannot understand, woke up in the middle of the night. The clock showed 2 hours and 11 minutes, as I remember now. I put my phone down and tried to sleep, but I couldn't. Adele was sleeping peacefully nearby, and I, wrapped in a blanket, drive around the room with frightened eyes. My eyes got used to the darkness. It began to seem to me that really, what is there to be afraid of? A room, a bed, a window, a closet, a closet. His gaze fell on him. Everything seemed to be fine, but the door was ajar. Although it seemed to me that Adele closed it, I then did not wind myself up, turned my face to the wall, and tried to fall asleep again. I had already begun to doze, when a creak pulled me out of sleep, as if a nail was being scratched on a blackboard. I slowly turned around. The closet door was half open. My heart began to beat with tripled strength. I began to whisper to myself, "Adam, you are winding yourself up, just old hinges," so the door opened by itself. But it was not there. Another creak, and with me the door opened almost completely. Legs trembled, and then a head appeared from behind the door. I couldn't see the faces, and didn't want to. The only thing I remembered before I dived under the covers with my head and began to read a prayer was an unusually long neck, like from the wrist on the arm to elbow, and long hair on the head. I don't even remember how I fell asleep. Adele woke me up in the morning with a kiss. I began to look around the room. The first thing that pleased me was the daylight falling from the window. The second thing was that the closet was closed. Needless to say, how glad I was, but not for long. When Adele opened the ill-fated closet, it turned out that everything inside was upside down. That's when I got really scared. A lot of time has passed, but the fear has not gone away. I am afraid of the dark, and since then, cabinets open at night.
Thank you for your attention. Subscribe to the channel.